are listening to WHOA Podcast, coming to you from Gainesville, Florida. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the WHOA GNV Podcast, the Coronavirus Sessions, where our temporary mission is to save as many businesses and jobs as possible by sharing how our fellow business owners and professionals are navigating COVID-19. And my name is Collin Austin, and my co-host is Michael Dees.
How's it going, Collin?
I'm trying to warm up this new intro, man. I'm trying to make it tight.
I just think it's funny because I know how you're itching to get back in the studio, and I feel like today we've had so many technical difficulties that we don't usually have. So I'm sure that just makes that itch a little bit more.
Yeah, man. There's too much responsibility put on me to make sure that everything goes right. Whereas normally there's more responsibility put on James to make sure everything goes right.
He's the real hero.
Exactly. Shout out to James.
Exactly.
Well, cool, man. I'm ready. I'm excited to get into this episode. But before we do, I got to thank today's sponsors, man. You guys know that these sponsors are helping this show go on. We are so grateful for them. Today's sponsors are Colliers International. Let's talk quickly about how the coronavirus has impacted your business. Maybe you've realized you need a different kind of office space, or you have questions about your lease options, or maybe you've been thinking about buying or selling a commercial property, baby, but you're not sure when to act. Call them at Colliers International Gainesville. They have the expertise and local experience to help you make the right decision for your commercial real estate needs. Check out their services at colliers.com/Gainesville. That's COLLIERS.com/Gainesville. You guys, I am so grateful to Dan Drodos and team over there for supporting us. So thank you so much. It's going to be interesting to think about how many, I was kind of thinking about this the other day too, restaurant spaces, will people want to go and eat in at restaurants, or will restaurants downsize to a place where they're doing just the takeout and delivery only? These are kind of the things that are circling through my mind. So I'm wondering if people will shore up, tighten up their space and lower their leases and expenses that they have there for dining rooms. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see for sure.
But if you're interested in doing that, reach out to Colliers International. They'll take care of you. And of course, we've got to thank our good friends over at Gainesville Harley Davidson. These guys are personal friends of mine, and Kevin is always teaching me his ways and exchanging dealership practices. I'm always hitting him up. I'm like, yo, man, what do you do about this? What do you do about this? He probably gets tired of it, actually. I wonder if he does. I'm just going to ask him. I'm like, yo, dude, be honest with me. But these are people that I love and trust. So if you're looking to upgrade that scooter, I scooter life, baby. But if you're ready to step it up to a Harley Davidson, then be sure to give them a call. Reach out to Emily directly at MEM@GainesvilleHarley.com, or call them at 352-331-6363. Thank you, Gainesville Harley, so much for supporting our show. You guys are the greatest. And to Colliers International for your support. Man, support our sponsors, guys. These guys make it happen. So thank you so much to them. And I am ready to get into this show with my good friend and neighbor, Brinn Strange of Auxo Fitness. Brinn, what is up?
Woohoo! Thanks so much for having me, Collin. I truly, truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
See each other from across the street, but now I get to be in the studio here with you virtually. So thank you.
Isn't it kind of weird that because we're always in personal life together, family stuff, cul-de-sac. We always say I see you back at the sack.
Yeah.
She hates it. But I see you back at the sack. And we cul-de-sac life going on and kids running around everywhere. And then it's hey, yo, let's do some business stuff.
Yeah.
So, but this is going to be fun. I'm excited. And so Brinn, tell us, let's just dive in. Just tell us everything that's kind of been happening. Summary of the initial impact that this coronavirus had on your business, and then we'll just take it from there.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. I just appreciate the opportunity to kind of just take a moment to reflect on the past month. It's just been such a whirlwind. In the beginning, it was just, challenges and got kind of overwhelming. And then now I'm at the point where I can kind of think about, okay, yes, challenges came up, but which ones have we overcome? What, successes can we celebrate? So it's nice to be able to do that. But then also, just also recognizing some of the small business struggles that are still out there, and happy to talk about those too. So when, Corona first hit, our fitness studio, which is a boutique barre studio, that first week we were just able to reduce class sizes. This was over a month ago, just clean really well. But then it quickly became clear that we're going to need to make some additional changes. And so it was actually the morning of the day that we were told we had to shut down. It was that morning that we held our first virtual live stream class. It was a co-class where we still had a few participants in the studio since we weren't officially having to be closed yet. But we tested the waters with the Zoom class feature and had some people join us that way. And so it was nice to be able to see, okay, that can work. And then later that afternoon, about 4:00, we found out, well, it's a good thing it could work, because that's the new normal for you guys now. And so we've just pivoted and put all of our classes online. So we're hosting them virtually. Some, things about that is now all of our front desk, who kind of came on board to be really customer service focused, are now our tech crew, like so many. And then all of our bartenders are our instructors that came on to connect with clients and to offer great classes. Our Zoom superstars now. We're on, on camera every day. And it's just been really encouraging and overwhelming with gratitude towards my team for how quickly they have been pivoting and been just willingly and happily getting on board, and thankful for the opportunity to keep working and to keep serving our clients. So that's been really exciting to see. I was nervous on, would we be able to translate that same warmth and love we want to give to our clients virtually? And we have been able to make some really clear choices every class to do that. So
yeah. So I assume that everybody knows, but fitness studios, gyms, they were mandated to close their doors. No more people inside the building, no more group classes. Which, that's huge. To me, I'm thinking that's got to be a huge impact. So bravo to you for innovating so quickly. I'm kind of curious to know if, your team members and stuff, or the people who are, normally doing private classes, did they embrace the technology side of it? Oh yeah, put me on camera? Or were some people I don't want to be on camera? Because some people are weird about that stuff sometimes.
Yeah, we've gotten a mixed response. Most of the instructors have all been, as long as they're willing or able to come to the studio. We just have one at a time, in addition to the tech support, one front desk person. But most of them have been willing to come. We have a few. The only reason that they haven't is if they are not going out at all because they have 9-to-5 jobs that they're interacting with the public. We have someone that's a speech therapist that's continuing to see patients, as well as a physician's assistant. So, they're at home, and because of that, they haven't been able to come to the studio, though some of them are now allowing us into their homes and teaching from home, which has really been cool. So I've been really excited that they've been on board for the most part. Our clients, similarly, most of them are showing us into their homes, into their bedrooms. We've now met their kids. We have a VIP we're featuring a virtually important pet, where now we're seeing, the dog doing down dog, the cat curled up on the mat.
Oh gosh, I love that.
That's been kind of special. In some ways, we're getting to know our clients even more.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They have the option to turn off that video, and some of them, do, and we don't really know if they're out there. We're hoping that they're following along and having fun, and they'll give us feedback afterwards. And I totally get that and respect their option not to turn on their video. But
yeah, did you guys have a significant decrease in memberships because of it? Did you feel that impact? Because it's interesting. I've talked to other fitness studios and stuff across town, and a lot of people, basically members are if I can't use the studio, then I'm not going to pay my membership. And and I kind of one, I try to see it from their perspective, though I really kind of go back to the whole community role. I'm like, this is the one time like where, you know, these businesses really need you to keep paying that membership. Like they're trying to pay their people. They're trying to see everybody through this. You know, let's like be there for them. I understand that you're not physically going to the, you know, to the gym, but like but keep paying your subscription, keep these people in business, and let them have a moment to actually get their thoughts together and innovate and create something new. And you're still going to get value from your membership. Just give them a little time. I understand you're not, you know, lifting the weights anymore, but like, you know, and so all that's been going through my mind. I've really been pushing there. So I'm just kind of interested, you know, did you get a decrease in members? Have some members started coming back? Like, what's that been like?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Initially, we did have, you know, that first week people wanting to cancel or pause their memberships, and that was a little disheartening, but a lot of it was not stemming from the fact that we were closed, but more from the fact that they had been laid off. Their income had decreased, and I totally get that, and, you know, want to be supportive of wherever they're at financially. But fortunately, the people that have kind of been on the fence with, hey, I can't come in, we have gotten them converted to embracing technology, getting onto the Zoom classes, even if it's like being on the phone, walking them through that process. If it's a member that's just not as comfortable with the technology we're using. And then just having other ways to add value to their memberships by putting on a lot of content, a lot of videos with things they could do from home, things that they can do with their kids, things that they could do in between Zoom meetings with their own work. So just trying to put up a lot of videos, more than we ever have. And so that's been one good thing. It's kind of pushed us to do that, which there's several things that's pushed us to do that they've been on the back burner, but one of them is creating more video content to just add value to their membership regardless of, you know, of the membership status. And so overall, we haven't had a ton just cancel or quit, which I'm so thankful for. Some of them have, you know, we've been trying to do some discounted like live stream only options that don't have some of the perks that they were enjoying, but it is a little bit less expensive. And so some of them have opted for that route. So we've just been trying to kind of go case by case. How can we still keep some income coming in, but serve you best? Initially, a lot of that was, you know, one thing I'm really fortunate about is our particular class format. Barre requires little to no equipment, but it does have the option of some light weights and Pilates balls and bands. And so our first order of business, as we were doing that first week transition, was to also offer delivery or curbside pickup of barre bundles, where we were putting together at-home workout kits and really trying to get those into the hands of our clients quickly so that they could have access to be able to do the classes at home, so that wouldn't be a barrier.
You know, my mind instantly goes into a place of scale when you start talking about virtual classes, that kind of thing, because, right, how big is your studio?
Yeah, so we're less than 1,000 square feet.
So now, I mean, do you see opportunity to like hold more people? Like, can you have a class of 100 people via Zoom or some virtual format, whereas in the past you couldn't? So is there an opportunity to, you know, maybe do more business in the near future as this grows?
Yeah, there is. I mean, right now we're still in the dip, but we have had a few people come back that want, like, so two things. One, the distance is now not an issue. So some people had quit in the past because they now lived even on the southwest side of town, that just the commute was too long, but also had past clients have moved to Colorado, to Boston, that are jumping back into the live stream because they just still love our culture and our energy of our classes. But also, yeah, we no longer are limited by space. So, you know, kind of even when we do anticipate eventually reopening, we'll probably really reduce our class sizes, and this will allow us to still serve the same amount or more people, as well as having some really fun big events. One coming up, we always used to monthly go to First Magnitude and do a yoga class in their warehouse space, and that could draw over 100 people. And we're never able to attempt anything like that in the studio. But this Sunday at 1:00, just like we would normally do, we'll be doing a yoga class for the First Mag community, but virtually. And so then they can, for the first time, like be in our studio, because that's where I'll be teaching from. And it'll be open to, much larger crowd. Nobody will be elbowing each other in the, in the face. They might have their dog on their mat, but yeah.
The VIPs, baby.
VIPs might be there in full force. But overall, there is some really great opportunities, like you mentioned, in terms of not being limited by our small studio space.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've definitely been doing squats with the dogs the last couple of days, so I'm using them as weights. I'm curious, Brinn, do you have any are you able to keep metrics on the videos to see who's engaging? Like for me, it's like I also do studio workouts. I find it really hard to work out at home. It's part of the reason why I do studio workouts. And I was the same way as a student. I didn't like to study at home. I had to study at the library. Like I have to go out, otherwise I won't do it. And so my fitness has definitely taken a back seat as we've gone through this. But are you able to see who's engaging with the videos, who's doing it?
So when we hold our actual classes, we're still using our same scheduling process where they would sign up and then they would attend the class. So in that way, we really clearly see how many people attended the classes. And in actuality, it's slightly more than had been coming to class physically in the weeks prior to Corona. So it's interesting that more are actually attending without any of those barriers of, of the distance. But I totally agree, where my house is so full of distractions that I'm definitely will be running back to a studio space, when everything opens back up. But it's been some cool connection opportunities where I've been taking a class with my sister in it that lives in California. People are connecting with their family in the classes. So I think if they make it fun like that and, get this friends involved to still have accountability, even if it's virtually, hey, I'm still going to, meet you at the bar, at the studio at this time, that they're making it work. They're having sometimes even fun. I think this, I don't know if this is a more of a woman thing, but kind of setting up these really cute little workout spaces that they're having a special spot in their home. So a lot of them have made it work, even though I totally get, why sometimes it's not. And I think the ability to take their computer outside and do some of the workouts outside when it's such a nice day like today, then that's something that is a new opportunity that we don't have in the physical class.
For sure, yeah.
It's so interesting. I wonder, I think about the monetization aspect. Could the studio experience become the premium experience that you charge more for, and then you also have cameras or something set up to capture it virtually, that you then offer that to people through Zoom or some exclusive link at a discounted rate? Is that something that sticks and allows you to scale? And I'm always thinking about companies like Peloton, who are really content creation companies, and you got the bikes at home. It's just super interesting to see that we're not necessarily restricted by the 1,200 square feet of space or, whatever it is, that we have been in the past. And it's cool to see, to see you taking this and really embracing it, Brinn, and really adapting and changing and just, the pivoting, that's been the word that constantly comes up, is pivot. How are you pivot? And we're going to see we're going to see who actually comes through the other end of this thing. And it's going to be because they made significant pivots. But what Mike and I have talked about before is the fact that a lot of this stuff, these pivots are going to end up sticking. Switch flips tomorrow. Everybody's back at work. Coronavirus is gone. Okay, well, people are going to I have a feeling that you're still going to incorporate something virtual into your classes, that you're not just going to default back to what was, right? And I know that I'm not. I'm like, now that we've done e-signatures on scooters and we figured that out, great. Now we can sell a scooter without ever having to have a customer come into the dealership. that's going to live on, whether this is, still going on tomorrow or not. So I'm like, I get pumped, man. I get excited. I get excited to see like the innovation that comes from it,
Yeah, we will be doing that, continuing with the live stream, and then trying to keep those recordings and have an on-demand service, which would be another tier of, of membership level of a different price point. So that's the goal. Another thing I wanted to mention that we've been wanting to do for 3 years, but it took Corona to make it happen, was to open an online retail shop on our website. So,
oh, cool.
Clients that move, or just in general are wanting to gift or buy some of our retail, and we've been really working hard to make that an option. And right now we're even doing, again, that curbside or delivery to your home options. And then now people that are out of state can buy some of our awesome gear. So our shop is up and running. I'm really excited about that.
Dude, isn't it fascinating what wasn't priority yesterday instantly becomes priority because of something like the coronavirus? I mean, like it's crazy. I mean, Mike, look at what we've done. We've had all of these things, same thing. We've had all these things sitting on the back burner for how long? 2 or 3 years?
It's a combination of new opportunities that are there for seizing, and for some people, the time to actually put forth the time, the focus and energy on it. But yeah, we've definitely dealt with the same thing, and it'll be interesting to see, like you both have said, how that changes business moving forward. The opportunities created from this, how they're able to be, I don't say capitalized on, but to help sustain the business moving forward.
It's awesome. I'm juiced.
Yeah.
I'm like pumped about it all. So Brinn, what's like the biggest challenge right this second? Now that we're a few weeks into this, what's unfolding as like the biggest hurdle for you right now?
I mean, we're still, down overall on revenue. So we just still need to be finding ways, because it's like I got really excited about live stream and kept like almost our exact class schedule. And that's expensive. And so kind of realizing, okay, 2 weeks prior, we had a lot less classes, but we were seeing the same amount of people. They were just figuring out coming at different times, like kind of instead of having a 4:30 and a 6 o'clock, if you have one 5 o'clock, try to capture all of those people virtually. So we're still just kind of playing with that, ways we can decrease expenses. But also, as we experienced even right before we pushed play today, we're at the mercy of good Wi-Fi connections. And so that's always just a little bit stressful. I feel like, we're just trying new technology options. Over the first few weeks, it was all about how can we get our audio better. We had to figure out a way to connect our mic and music up to the mixing board in a way that was going to connect through Zoom. So there's literally like 4 devices going on at once in the studio. And it costed an initial investment to get some of that. And so just, it's being patient and recovering. But a big part of that has also been done without childcare. So personally, that's my biggest challenge. Even though that's also resulted in some great wins. I've seen my daughter go from taking 1 step to walking like a pro. And my son now rides only the big boy swing, which I'm super proud of him, because he was still trying to get in the baby one before this. And so been some wins, but the childcare struggle is real.
Yeah, for sure. I don't luckily our kids are a little bit older, and I got 10 and 6. And so they can go play Minecraft for an hour if I need to do a podcast, which is a little bit more difficult for you, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. But we're doing our best, making it work. So it's okay. Greg and I tag team a lot.
Yeah. And I'm interested to know, like, on the Zoom stuff, like, are you finding ways to make it, like, is it interactive? Like, are people asking questions via the chat, or are you guys like stopping and able to like have that engagement? Because when you were talking, one of the things I was like, well, you could record the first class and then like replay it 2 or 3 times, and like, and maybe do offer that in order to cut costs. But I was just thinking maybe that's not, maybe you still want the interaction or the conversations or.
Yeah, I think that's a good option. And especially at 5:30 a.m. where we can't have an instructor and a tech help. We've been having to do some pre-recorded classes to that crew that really wants the early morning because they just can't pull it off. But I don't know, it's been tricky because I do think that clients enjoy, even if it's just for a minute or two before and after class, us checking in. We do use the chat feature if they have feedback. And it's just, we do take a moment to look at the gallery view, check everybody's form out. Are they participating? Can we say something specifically to them to keep their energy up? So, you know, you want to give them that live stream experience, but also being realistic on costs. And I think clients get that too. So they're willing to have us, you know, make some sacrifices, but we're still trying to do that value added moment. Well, we're using those classes though also to, you know, show them a live, maybe a little preview of some of our newest retail, giving them updates on upcoming events that we have going on. So we're trying to, you know, do some live moments with that. So yeah, we're still figuring that out, but I think that's a good option as well.
Cool. It's super interesting. I love the being innovative and adjusting and pivoting, adapting, whatever you want to say. Mike.
Yeah. And like one thing we always are all about is just celebrating our clients. And so, you know, we're still tracking their milestones. Is this their 100th class? Is it their birthday? Can we, you know, celebrate with them virtually? And we're doing our best.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mike, wrap us up, man. You got anything?
All right. Yeah, but I'm going to see if you can leave us, or leave me with two pieces of advice. One, on the personal level, if anybody that's listening to this and they've fallen out of routine, you know, they had their studio taken away from them and they need the motivation to get back up and running, what would you tell them? And then a step back just for businesses in general, that people that are going through this, you know, if there's any advice that you would leave with anybody.
Cool. So on the personal end, just want to encourage people, do give you a few routine touch points, even if your day is not the same. Wash your face in the morning, put on sunscreen, do something that's going to make you sweat enough that you have to take a shower. Okay, these have been really helpful for me.
I like that, yeah.
I love also trying to make 5 minutes for using a meditation app and just grounding myself with 5 minutes of meditation a day while I drink my first cup of coffee, even if that means setting the alarm for 5 a.m. So that's been really helpful. On the business front, you know, stay encouraged. I love just you, even if you're asking for it, get some feedback from your clients. I love seeing those emails, Facebook comments that they are just so appreciative. They need us right now more than ever. They need to feel connected. They need to move their bodies. So take comfort in that. One thing I really wanted to share really quickly before I jump off, because this happened literally 5 minutes before we started this talk, I got an email from Wells Fargo about a balance update. And in my head, I was thinking, oh, I've just maxed out my credit card. But it was saying that I got an IEDL loan. And I'm just so thankful for that. So we applied for that, you know, at least 3 weeks ago. And it just came in. So just be patient and be encouraged. And we're all in this together.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Well, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I loved getting to share some of our wins with you.
Yeah, it's cool. And we need that. We need to hear some of the wins and share some of the adjustments. And that's exactly why we're doing this, right? Because I think when you hear how one business owner has, you know, changed their structure, their processes, and adapted to the mess that you're in, you feel encouraged, you feel uplifted, you feel like, oh wow, like they can figure it out, so can I. And that's exactly why we're doing this. So I'm excited.
Real quick, Brinn, I have to know how different is business Collin and neighbor Collin?
The same, baby. What are you talking about?
He doesn't use his whoa Gainesville voice with us, but he's normally on his phone making these while we see him out there. But,
there is no doubt about that.
Yeah. Got that same great smile, happy Collin. So he's awesome.
I mean, just bring the beers and let's go. I like the relax cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
So, well, awesome, Brinn. Well, I'll see you back at the sack. And I think, do you hate that, or is it Shannon that hates that? Shannon,
I love it. I love it.
All right.
And my son he'll be starting to ride his bike too far down the street, and now like, back in a sec, and he turns around, so it's working.
Well, there you go. That's awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This is the WHOA GNV podcast. Oh, wait. Before we do that, where can everybody find you? Where can they connect with you? Where can they where can they buy the swag and stuff? Because that's a very important piece.
AuxoFitness.com. Click on shop.
And that's where they can subscribe or like sign up for classes too.
Click on live stream. Yep. You can also check us out on Facebook, Auxo Fitness, or Instagram, Auxo Fitness GNV.
Awesome. Sorry, that was a very important part. I don't want to leave that part out. All
right,
everybody. This is the WHOA GNV podcast, the podcast bringing you businesses and individuals that make you go, whoa.
Woo!
We will see you later. Bye.